I took the job as a park ranger in West Virginia for the solitude and the chance to be surrounded by nature. Blackwood Forest was known for its dense trees, winding trails, and serene beauty. I never imagined it would be the setting for the most terrifying experience of my life. My name is Jeremy. Fresh out of the academy, I was eager to start my new position. Blackwood Forest was both beautiful and vast, and the locals seemed friendly enough, albeit a bit wary. They always had this edge to their conversations, like there was something unsaid that everyone knew, but didn't talk about. The first few weeks were peaceful. I spent my days patrolling the trails, helping lost hikers, and making sure the wildlife was undisturbed. I had my little cabin near the ranger station, where I'd retreat at night, the sounds of the forest lulling me to sleep. Things started to change when I found the first body. It was a hiker, a young man in his 20s. He was sprawled on the ground near a trail, his body brutally torn apart. I radioed for backup immediately, my hands shaking as I described the scene. It looked like an animal attack, but it was more savage than anything I'd ever seen. The local sheriff arrived, and they took the body away, telling me they'd investigate. But the unease lingered. I couldn't shake the image from my mind. The next few days were tense. I patrolled with a heightened sense of alertness, my hand constantly hovering over my radio. Then, it happened again. Another body, this time a middle-aged woman, same brutal wounds, same horrific scene. The sheriff was getting visibly frustrated. "We've never had anything like this happen here before," he said, rubbing his temples. "Be careful, Jeremy. There's something out there." I nodded, trying to mask my fear. I couldn't let this go. I needed answers. One night, I decided to venture deeper into the forest. I had heard whispers from the locals about strange sightings, large shadows moving through the trees, but they were always dismissed as legends or overactive imaginations. With my flashlight and rifle, I set out, determined to find some clue as to what was happening. The deeper I went, the darker it became. The canopy overhead blocked out the moonlight, and the air grew colder. I walked for hours, my senses on high alert, but I found nothing. Frustrated, I decided to head back. That's when I heard it, a low, guttural growl, almost like a rumble through the trees. I froze, my flashlight scanning the area. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling slightly. The growl came again, closer this time. I raised my rifle, my heart pounding. A massive shape emerged from the shadows, and I felt my blood run cold. It was enormous, covered in dark fur, with eyes that seemed to glow in the darkness. It looked like the legends, the stories the locals told. Bigfoot. I couldn't believe my eyes. It let out a deafening roar and charged. I fired, the sound echoing through the forest, but the creature didn't stop. It slammed into me, knocking me to the ground. I felt its claws rake across my chest, pain exploding through my body. Desperate, I kicked out, managing to scramble to my feet. The beast roared again, but this time it seemed more frustrated than enraged. I stumbled back, firing another shot. This time it hit its mark. The creature howled in pain and retreated into the shadows. I didn't waste any time. I ran, my chest burning, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I made it back to the cabin and collapsed inside, barring the door behind me. I radioed for help, my voice barely more than a whisper. "It's real. It's out there." The response was immediate, and within minutes, backup arrived. They found me covered in blood, my shirt shredded. The next few days were a blur. The sheriff was skeptical at first, but the evidence was undeniable. There were too many strange occurrences, too many sightings. The forest was closed off, and a full investigation was launched. I spent my days recovering, the wounds healing slowly. But the nightmares persisted. I couldn't get the image of the creature out of my mind. The fear, the sheer primal terror, was something I would never forget. Eventually, the officials concluded their investigation. They didn't find the creature, but they found traces, footprints, hair samples, signs of its presence. The locals were warned, and the area was heavily monitored. The murder stopped, but the fear remained. I stayed on as a ranger, but things were never the same. Every snap of a twig, Every rustle in the bushes sent a shiver down my spine. I knew it was still out there, somewhere in the depths of Blackwood Forest, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it struck again. Life in Blackwood Forest went on, but I was changed forever. I learned that some legends are real, and sometimes the monsters we fear are not just figments of our imagination. They walk among us, hidden in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. And in the depths of the forest, where the light never quite reaches, they are always watching. Like and subscribe for more stories like this.